Happy Friday, everybody. December 27th, 2013. December 27th, 2013. Coming at you live. Next year, we're going to be coming at you live and in living color. Stay tuned for how to watch us as well as listen to us. Coming up next year, last night, for Dr. Glidden Insiders Only, we had a worldwide live chat attended by over 70 people from all around the world. We had South Korea in the house. We had Chile in the house. Australia, I believe, was in the house. All over Canada, all over the United States. And, of course, the People's Republic of California, always very well represented. So many questions from so many people. Didn't have time to get to them all, so I'm going to clean it up right now and answer the last 5 questions that I could not get to tonight. Mike from New Jersey says, my niece, 16 years old, 125 pounds. She's not on Youngevity, not gluten or bad foods free. She's having excessive duration menstrual flows. That means, her menstrual flow lasts for 5, 6, 7 days instead of 3. Acne, hormonal imbalance is reported more than normal. She's diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. She's been prescribed orthotricycline. Her cycles are normal on the drug. Also working with chiropractor for scoliosis. She's active and looks in good health. She takes a store-bought multi. A store-bought multi. Well, that's a waste of money. And a glucosamine product, which is also a waste of money. By the way, a manager of a very reputable vitamin store. I don't know if I can mention the name on the air, so I won't. He was the manager of 3 of these vitamin stores. It's an international vitamin company. He was a manager for 3 years in Boston, 3 stores. He was a hockey player in his 40s, early 40s, bad knees, and for a couple of years took all of the joint support that they had in these stores. And he had full access to it at, rock bottom prices because he was the manager. Nothing worked. Then he found us, went on Youngevity, and within 9 months he's playing hockey again because his joints are completely 100% improved, which goes to show you that when it comes to medical nutrition, the recipe is everything. Nutritional supplements really are no different than chicken soup. The recipe is everything. Really no different than wine. All wine comes from grapes. But there's a great deal of difference, isn't there, from bottle to bottle. The recipe is everything, and Youngevity's recipes are informed by $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries, and 40 years of applied clinical work by the man, the physician, the legend, Dr. Joel Wallach, who literally wrote the book on medical nutrition. So, if you're going to spend hard-earned money, because insurance doesn't pay for medical nutrition, does it? Insurance doesn't pay for vitamins and minerals. Ever wonder why? Because if it did, the drug companies would be out of a job, for goodness sake. Or, they'd still be in business selling Novocaine. They'd still be in business selling anesthetics and a handful of antibiotics, but that would be about it. They know it, so they've gone out of their way to keep everybody else off the bus of medicine. But that house of cards is falling down all around them as Youngevity rises into prominence. But my point is, you need the right nutritional supplement for the right job, and you might as well get the world's best, most effective, if you're going to be spending hard-earned, out-of-the-pocket cash. Well, so the recommendation here to support and promote hormonal function is the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, right? Because the hormones are made from cholesterol, and unless we get your cholesterol levels sorted out, then it's going to be nearly impossible for you to have normal menstrual cycles. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, from our point of view, is caused by the deficiency in progesterone, deficiency in the hormone progesterone. The MDs will tell you that, that you're just got a body that doesn't make progesterone well, or that it's genetic, or that, you've got a funky fallopian tube or whatever. And they're wrong. The main cause of polycystic ovarian syndrome, not enough progesterone, is not enough cholesterol, or not enough amino acids, and B vitamins, be like baby, that the body needs in order to metabolize its hormones appropriately. So we have to support liver function, because the liver is where hormones are cobbled together. The liver is intimately involved in the regulation of hormone levels in the body. So if we're trying to support healthy hormone levels, it would be prudent to eat a diet that's high in cholesterol, take good recipe nutritional supplements that give the body the other raw materials that it needs in order to have healthy cholesterol levels, and support the liver. Because if you do all those things and stop eating food that's coming up the works, chances are your hormones are going to bounce back the way that nature and God, that's right, I said it out loud, God intended. So our recommendation, 1 healthy brain and heart pack and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of HGH Youth Complex also per 100 pounds of body weight per month. It never hurts to give extra minerals in this case, so I'd tack on to this 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals and also 1 bottle of de-stress. 1 bottle of the de-stress. I'd only need to do the de-stress for 4 weeks. Eat a diet that's high in cholesterol. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Do that for 90 days and see what happens. Second question from Mike in New Jersey. Yo, Mike, which exit? My sister-in-law, 48, 135, not on longevity, not gluten or bad foods free, prescribed many store-bought supplements, all right. Also has polycystic ovarian diagnosis, must run in the family, right? And is on Previfem, 25 milligrams. The period was occurring every 2 weeks. Yikes. Also, 6 years ago, left leg was bruised in a fall. Remaining is vein damage. It's visible and raised, feeling hard to the touch. Locally in the lateral calf, also veins showing down into the front. Wrist pain into the hand. Intense leg cramping at night. My sister-in-law has been with me for the past few days. I've been her doing 2 ounces of OsteoFX with OJ, 2 Ultimate Mineral Caps, 6 selenium. Did not alter her present schedule of supplements, just added longevity. Leg cramping has improved, lessened. After only 2 days, she's happy and convinced because before the introduction of longevity, her no change to her symptoms. This is a very important thing, very to understand. No matter whom you go to for health care. I don't care if it's the Surgeon General of the United States. I don't care if it's Dr. Oz. I don't care if it's a shaman from a rainforest in Brazil. It does not matter whom you go to for care. You must demand from whomever you're going to for help a timetable inside of which you're going to work. Well, how long is it going to take? A day, a month, a week? How long do I need to follow your program before I realize results? This person realized results in 48 hours, and she's been doing over-the-counter nutritional supplements for years without any significant improvement. 48 hours with us, which speaks to the efficacy of the recipe. Ooh, there's a nice little catchphrase. The efficacy of the recipe. That's what we bring to the table. Science-based, clinically verified, clinically verified, clinically verified. Those are very important words, clinically verified. Developed and delivered by physicians, science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition protocols. So they work. That's a long-winded way of saying they work. And the proof of the pudding's in the eating, as was present with Mike's sister-in-law. He goes on to say, if this improvement continues, then I have directed her to stop all store-bought supplements and get on the longevity perspective. She agrees, and I couldn't agree more. You know, you have to take the right dog for the hunt. A lot of different dogs in the world, aren't there? Well, if you take a Chihuahua duck hunting, I can guarantee you're going to come back empty-handed. If you try to find a lost child in the wilderness with a dachshund, I can guarantee you're going to come back empty-handed. You need a bloodhound for that job. You need, a golden retriever to go duck hunting, or a Labrador retriever, right? You need the right dog for the hunt. Take the wrong dog to the hunt, you're going to come back empty-handed, and that's what happens to people all across the world. They take the wrong dog to the hunt just because they don't know any better. Jan from Sarasota, Florida says, my brother has a history of sinus problems and has been diagnosed with a nasal fungus and possibly Epstein-Barr. What would I suggest he do? Well, get a different doctor. because Epstein-Barr is a garbage can diagnosis. The single major numero uno primary complaint the people in the United States visit MDs for is lack of energy. Lack of energy. So you could, just by taking somebody's signs and symptoms, come up with a from-the-hip diagnosis of Epstein-Barr. And often physicians will, because they are colorblind art critics. They don't have any idea at all about the relationship between nutrition and the genesis of disease, and so they're shooting in the dark, and they got to pull something out of their rear end just to make themselves look good, just to save face. So, you've got Epstein-Barr. Baloney, you've got Epstein-Barr. Some people do, but it's the rare individual that does. Sinus problems, the recommendation there, of course, to support and promote the mucous membranes of the upper respiratory tract is essential fatty acid supplementation. The easiest way to get that is with one healthy brain and heart pack. Remember, I think it should be called the Healthy Brain, Heart, and Lung Pack. Though my recommendation to support the mucous membranes in the upper respiratory tract, one healthy brain and heart pack and 2 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. When you're in the throes of an active infection, you can do 1 bottle of Killer Biotic per 50 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of Killer Biotic per 50 pounds of body weight per month. And also a colloidal silver nasal spray 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. Just go crazy with colloidal silver inside the nose. Just hit it every couple hours with colloidal silver, both nostrils. And that should take care of it. Of course, everybody has to eliminate the 10 bad foods. You know, this is how we do it in the live chats, folks. And it's a lot more fun than this, because you're not just listening to me drone on. You're in a webinar room with people all around the world who are chatting it up amongst themselves. It's a fantastic experience, way better than the movies. Available only to Dr. Glidden Insiders. Want to become an insider? Well, that's the smartest thought you've had all year. Check it out. FireYourMDNow.com. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you, December 27th, 2013. Donna from East Hartford, Connecticut, has been waiting patiently on the phone. Let's talk to Donna, and then we'll finish up the rest of the chat room questions. Hey, Donna, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Oh, Dr. Glidden.
What's happening, Donna?
I have good news, Doctor. I have a good report, and I want to talk to you about something else. I had called you about a couple months ago, and I told you I had back and neck surgery in January and March.
Oh, yeah. I remember you. Yeah.
You remember? Okay. And you had said something to me. You said, so, Donna, where is your pain now? And I didn't even tell you I had pain anywhere else. You just knew. You said, Donna, where's your pain now? And I told you it was my right side and my knee. And I started, and you told me what to take. And I've been doing the regimen of the products. And I'd like to report today that I'm pain-free. Thank you. And it's only been 2 months I am pain-free. I am so excited about that. I've been smiling. I can't believe it. I get out of bed without any pain, and it's like a new thing. And I've been in pain. I had been in pain for over a year before the surgery, and now I am pain-free.
And how long did it take? How long did it take, Donna? How long did it take? How many months of supplementation?
Well, I've been on it for 2 months already. I've got 1 more month. You said 90 days. I got 1 more month. But within 3 weeks, I could notice the change. How my knees. In 3 weeks, my knee stopped hurting. My knee was not hurting anymore.
Boy, you gotta love it.
Yes, I do. And then my hip. It was hurting, but not as much. I go to rehab, and they say, well, Donna, from 1 to 10, what's your pain level? I said, it's about a 5, a 3, or 5. Said it's gotten better. I said, yes, it's getting better. Okay? I even was talking to a lady there who was a patient there, and, that kind of, but he was, the therapist was working on me. He was kind of trying to interrupt, so I wouldn't say anything. Well, and another thing, my doctor has released me to be able to go to the gym. I can go to the gym now and work out now, Dr. Glidden.
Boy, you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yes.
Now, we gotta riff on this for a minute, Donna. I can spend as much time as you want today. When you call in with a testimonial like this, the show is all yours. But let me just say this about that. How old are you?
I'm 63.
63. You know how many women a month die from pain med prescription overdoses?
No.
Yeah, 100 people die from drug overdoses every day in the United States. In a period of 9 months, a tiny Kentucky county of fewer than 12,000 people sees 16 people die from prescription medication overdoses. Drug overdose death rates in the U.S. have more than tripled since 1990. I believe the statistic is 12 million people reported using prescription painkillers non-medically in 2010. That is, using them without a prescription or for the feeling that they cause. And among the people that take prescription medications, I mean, they're not, getting them on the street corner from a college student, right? A drug dealer. They're getting them from their doctor. It's 12 people a week. 12 women a week die from prescription medication pain. And, my heart kind of goes out to them, and you're a perfect example because pain stinks. And you were in pain for an entire year, and then in 3 weeks, you get on the other side of it with the longevity. We didn't give you painkillers. All we did was give you joint support to support and promote your body's ability to fix itself. You know how many millions of people there are in the world that need to know what you now know? There are millions.
I am going to post it all over Facebook.
Well, you need to shout this one from the rooftops because people are dying literally.
Yes.
Because they're in pain. Their MDs have completely let them down, and they don't know that there exist in real time science-based, clinically verified alternatives. And, this is why Dr. Wallach, in his wisdom, formed Longevity as a network marketing company.
Right.
Because, we'll pay you to tell people about what we do. We'll pay you to spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition, as God is my witness.
I'm already a distributor with Longevity.
You got to love it. Now, my recommendation to you, become an insider. And I want you to stick around after the break. I have more to talk to you about. Become an insider. All right, become an insider at fireyourmdnow.com, because not only will you have access to hundreds of hours of health webinars, but you'll also have access to business-building webinars that will teach you how to share this message effectively. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. I like to be as accurate as possible. It's not, you can't be 100% right 100% of the time, right? Otherwise you'd be God. So I did some statistic fact-finding while we were on the break. According to the Center for Disease Control in the United States, and this is old data, 2008, couldn't find anything more recent than that. In 2008, 15,000 people, approximately 15,000 U.S. citizens died from prescription medication overdoses. Prescription medication overdoses, which, by the way, is more than heroin and cocaine combined, and it's not 12 people a day, it's 40 people a day. Now, 2,000 people die in the Twin Towers. We go to war. 15,000 people die from prescription medication overdoses, and we pass a law that makes it mandatory for people to see the MDs who prescribe the drugs. You get that? We passed a law, Obamacare, making it mandatory for people to have medical insurance. What does medical insurance do? Lets you into the system run by the MDs who are killing 15,000 people a year because they're incompetent, don't know what to do for pain, and can only throw prescription drugs which are extremely addictive, and then they don't track it. They let their patients down, and they die. And that's the tip of the iceberg. Leading all cause of death in the United States, not just prescription medication, the leading all cause of death, MD-directed therapeutics. 750,000 people a year are killed by MD therapeutics, and we pass a law that makes it mandatory for people to have access to this system. This is how deep down the rabbit hole we've gone in our utter abject allegiance to all things MD. And it's time we all collectively snapped out of it. Let's go back to Donna from East Hartford, Connecticut. Donna, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
All right, girlfriend. So what's on your mind? How can I help you today?
Okay, I have another problem. I'm on medication for blood pressure, and it has a diuretic in it. It's called tribenzor.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Okay. And it caused me to start losing my hair, and I've lost my hair in the front of my head all the way back to the middle. Yes. There's hair growing in the back, from the middle back, but there's nothing growing up in the front part of it. And
all right. So I can tell you what to do. I mean, this isn't difficult. So are you on any other prescription meds or just the one for high blood pressure?
No, I won't take anything else, just the one for high blood pressure. It has a diuretic in it.
All right, so you need to go to CVS or Walgreens or someplace, I don't know, Amazon.com, whatever, and buy a home blood pressure cuff, okay?
Okay, I got that.
All right, I need you to take your blood pressure cuff down the street to the firehouse, take it to your local fire department, and when the EMT guys are sitting in the fire department playing a tiddlywinks, waiting for the alarm to sound, I want you to have them take your blood pressure with their equipment and with your equipment and compare the numbers to make sure that your equipment is accurate, okay?
Okay.
All right. Then I want you to take your blood pressure twice a day. I want you to take it first thing in the morning before breakfast, and then I want you to take it sometime in the afternoon, whatever's convenient for you.
Okay.
I want you to take it at the same time every day, all right?
Okay.
Now, for 7 days in a row, I want you to take your blood pressure twice a day at the same time every day.
For 7 days, okay.
I want you to write those numbers down. Then don't change anything. Just, keep taking your meds and keep taking your nutritional supplements. Don't change anything. I want you to get a baseline reading of what your blood pressure is for 7 days. You with me? All right.
I'm writing it down, yep.
All right. Now, starting on day 8. Now, we're going to do a little in-house experiment, okay?
Okay.
For 7 days in a row, starting on day 8, I want you to double the amount of calcium that you're taking. Double it.
Okay, double. That's Cal Toddy?
Yeah, double the Cal Toddy. What are you doing, 1 ounce twice a day now?
Well, right now, I started doing the 2 ounces a day. I started that last week.
All right, so for 8 days as an experiment, or 7 days as an experiment, I want you to do 1 ounce 4 times a day.
Okay, 1 ounce 4 times a day?
Yep.
4 times a day, okay.
And one of those ounces I want to be immediately before bed.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Now, but I don't want you to do that for 7 days, because first I want you not to change anything. Continue 2 ounces of Cal Toddy plus whatever else you're doing, and to get a baseline blood pressure reading twice a day.
Okay.
Then starting on day 8 for 7 days, I want you to take 4 ounces of liquid calcium a day. And in that timetable, look to see if your blood pressure numbers come down.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Which invariably they will. And they might not, and so we're looking for a noticeable drop, like, 5, 6, 7 points on both ends of the scale, all right?
Okay.
Now, once the numbers drop, I want you to talk to a pharmacist, tell him what blood pressure med you're on, and ask him how to withdraw from it safely and effectively. Right?
Okay.
Then I would recommend you start a blood pressure medication withdrawal program. Maybe you can come off of it in 3 days. Maybe you need to take 3 months. I don't know, but the pharmacist will know. Once you start the withdrawal program from your blood pressure med, you just continue to take your blood pressure twice a day and continue to do 4 ounces of calcium a day.
Oh, okay.
And you just keep doing that until your blood pressure's normal without drugs.
Okay,
Now,
great.
That's either going to work or it's not, right? So if you do the 7-day program of 4 ounces of calcium a day, and nothing, the blood pressure doesn't budge an inch, call me back and I'll tell you what to do next. Okay. Now, is there anything that I can take for the to rejuvenate the hair follicles, to start them, you got to come off of the blood pressure med.
Oh, okay.
Until you get that out of your system, we're spitting into the wind.
Okay.
Now, listen, blood pressure, blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason, right? You can have super high blood pressure and not even know it, which is why you have to measure your blood pressure. But the blood pressure medications never get to the root cause of what's giving you high blood pressure. They're just managing your symptoms. They're just managing it. It's like painting over the mold in your basement without fixing the leak, okay?
Yeah.
Now, it's better to take a blood pressure medicine than to die from a heart attack from high blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
But it's better to fix the cause of the blood pressure so that you don't need the medication anymore. It's better to attempt to make yourself so healthy that you don't need your prescription medication and blood pressure stuff. I mean, that's the better thing to do. Now, your medical doctor doesn't think that that's possible, but we see it happen all of the time. But, everybody's different. Everybody has different circumstances. But I'm going to bet you 25 cents, based on your health history, that your problem with blood pressure is strictly a calcium and a magnesium problem. And that when you get more calcium and magnesium into your body, the blood pressure is going to normalize, and then you'll safely, easily, and assuredly be able to wean yourself off of the blood pressure med and enjoy normal blood pressure. But we got to take it 1 week at a time, see what happens to the numbers, mess around with it, and then we're good to go. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, it makes a lot of sense, and thank you very much. I am so glad my friend told me about you. I'm so glad.
Well,
I should have listened to it. If you tried to tell me before I had the surgeries, but I was kind of not listening, and I would have been saved myself a whole lot of pain if I had listened to it before.
I know. Well, that's how we go, right? We plod ahead, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And that's, don't feel too bad, Donna. That happens to everybody. I'm glad you're on our side now, though.
Yes, because before I can't take any narcotics for pain, so it was very painful for me after surgery. I couldn't take any pain, so I used to scream in pain all the time every time they moved me, because I can't take narcotics. They make me very ill. So I went through a lot of pain, and to come out of that still in pain somewhere else was just unbelievable. So I started listening to her then.
Well, I'm glad that you finally found the light of medical nutrition. Now let's take care of the blood pressure. Let's optimize your circulatory system. Let's support and promote the structure and function of your circulatory system to the best of our ability, and take it 1 week at a time. Give me a call back in a couple of weeks with a report, Donna.
Okay, but before you hang up, doctor, I have one more thing. Even though I'm pain-free with my back and everything, I'm still having problems. It seems like my brain is set, when I go to walk after being standing in one place. When I go to walk, it's like my brain sends the message to both my legs at the same time. So they're both trying to go at the same time, and I'm tripping and almost falling until I stop and think about what I'm going to do. Is there something I can do?
Yeah, there's definitely something you can do there. That 100% is a job for your physical therapist, 100%.
Okay.
You need to tell the physical therapist that that's happening. And the physical therapist will give you exercises that you can do to retrain your muscles how to walk, because right now they don't want to move because they remember the pain, right?
Okay.
They're remembering how painful it was, and you just have to kind of get your brain off of that track onto a different track, and that is where a physical therapist really can help you. So you want to tell the physical therapist that, and that is 100% their domain. I'm so glad that you asked that question, Donna.
Oh, I'm so glad too, because I was thinking maybe I need brain surgery, and I wasn't going to have that done.
All right. Well, listen. Happy New Year, kiddo. Give me a shout in 2014. Look forward to it. That's how we do it, folks. That's how we do it. 15,000 people a year dead because they're in pain. They took the advice of their MDs, and the MDs dropped the ball. 15,000, that's 40 people a day. That's 40 people a day. Now, if small passenger planes, the little small jump jets, carry about 50 people a day, 50 people out of whack, if one of those jump jets, going from Chicago to Minneapolis or from San Francisco to Los Angeles, right, or from New York to Chicago or from Chicago to Washington or from New York to Washington, D.C., if one of those crashed every day, if one of those crashed every day, there would be a national outrage. National outrage. There would be a Federal Aviation Association investigation. Heads would roll. Aircraft companies would be brought to the table, and they'd have to testify before Congress and say, what the heck is going on? But when the medical community does it, we turn away. We give them a pass. And I think I know why we do it. And I'm going to tell you why I think we do it when we come back from the break. Stick around. It's going to be an eye-opening moment here on Fire Your MD Now. I'm only going to say this once because I'm going to catch a lot of heat from it. But I'm going to tell you what I think is going on here and why we consistently, consecutively, all of the time, give the killers a pass. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Stick around. Back after. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, talking about all things holistic, rolling back the curtain on the unbelievable, despicable goings-on in modern American medicine, quite frankly, in conventional medicine all around the world. Well, all right. This is where I go out on a limb, okay? I'm going out on a social limb here. I don't care because I'm fed up. I've had it. I'm not taking it anymore, and I think I figured it out. You believe in God. If you don't believe in God, then this is going to make no sense to you whatsoever. I hope that you can wrap your head around this somehow. Well, in the physical existence that we live in, the physical plane of reality that we live in, it's a world of duality. There's up and down, left and right, north and south, night and day, winter and summer, spring and fall, positive and negative, right? Good and evil. It is a world of polar opposites, a world of duality that we live in, male and female, good and evil. There are forces of light and forces of good which exist in the world, and because it's a duality riddled existence, an existence the very essence of which is duality. The world that we live in, the physical plane of existence that we inhabit, is defined by duality. If there's good, there also must be evil. If there's day, there also must be night. If there's north, there must be south. If there's right, there must be left. If there's an up, there must be down. And so forth and so on, ad infinitum. Well, goodness exists, so therefore does evil. There are angelic forces, metaphysical forces of good. There are metaphysical forces of evil. And good and evil percolate the very fabric of the world in which we live in. Now, consider this, Batman. Riddle me this, Batman. How is it possible for a professional organization to be the leading cause of death in the world, the leading cause of death in the world, the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, the leading moneymaker in the world, and even though they deliver such unbelievably horrible results, people continue to use their services. People continue to be deluded by their false promises. How is such a gargantuan situation able to persist in a world populated with intelligent people? How is such a situation possible? The only explanation that I can come up with, the only explanation that works, the only explanation that resonates inside of my intelligence quotient is the medical industry is evil. Now, I'm going to say it once again. The allopathic medical industry, which is monopolizing the planet right now, under the agency of the pharmaceutical companies, represent evil in the world. They must. Because there is no other explanation that makes sense, which explains how they can deliver so many false promises, so much death, so much pain, so much propaganda, so much profiteering, so much gigantic money for them, so much gigantic financial hardship for us, so much pain and suffering all of the time, and still be considered the kings. It is a propaganda, a proposition of biblical proportions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm only going to say this once. My position is the pharmaceutical companies in the world of the 21st century, quite frankly, for their entire existence, represent evil in our time. And every once in a while they throw you a bone, like Novocaine, like morphine, like antibiotics, like the polio vaccine, which may or may not have worked, to make you think that they're the good guys. They throw you a bone to make you think that they're on your side. Meanwhile, they're gutting you from behind the scenes. They're bankrupting you from behind the scenes. They're giving false promises all of the time. They represent evil, and they should be discarded, obliterated from the face of the planet. You can't ever get away from evil, but you can disregard it and ignore it. And quite frankly, tell people there is a better way. And that's what we bring to the table. Coming up with a very special guest at the top of the next hour. Stick around.